I don't know about you guys, but lately I've been seeing a lot of people spreading kind of misleading or, even misinformation regarding the recent increase to gas prices. So I thought today that I would talk about, the real reason why the gas prices are actually rising. Mostly what I'm seeing on my Facebook page is a lot of boomer conservatives sharing images of gas prices saying, "Thanks, Biden." That's mostly what I see on mine. Not saying there's anything wrong with boomers or conservatives, considering that's mostly what my family is made up of. But the truth is, even if Trump was still in office, the prices would be increasing, and here's why. But let me start off by saying that I'm no political genius, and I don't claim to be. I don't care about politics, I don't like politics, but when it comes to economics, that's when I'm interested. And unfortunately, this is a little bit political, at least that's how the people are making it. So please let me know down in the comments below if you have any more in-depth information on the political side, policies that the Biden and Harris administration are passing or trying to pass or plan to pass, whatever it might be. I know the basic information, but when it comes to the in-depth stuff, I'm not too familiar. Maybe I need to watch more Alex Jones.
Look, here's the thing. I'm kind of retarded.
So there are several factors playing into the increase in gas prices recently. And number one is simple supply and demand. With the loosening restrictions of COVID, it has led to a rapid global demand for crude oil. And oil and gas prices basically go hand in hand. So if you take a look at these charts, you will notice an obvious drastic decrease in the price of gas and crude oil in 2020 around March when the coronavirus hit. Kind of peak lockdown and everybody was locked inside, right? So nobody was really driving around. It was stay-at-home orders, essential employees would leave, you'd go if you had to go to the grocery store. But other than that, everybody was kind of staying home. So if nobody wanted gas, then the gas was cheaper. But then when the COVID restrictions kind of let up, stay-at-home orders let out, and now people, they're allowing no masks, more places are opening up, more seating in restaurants, amusement parks, and theaters are back. A lot more people are floating around on the roads. Therefore, hey, there is a lot more demand for gas. Therefore, the price goes up. Simple supply and demand. So that reason alone is why even if Trump was in office, the prices would still be increasing because he can't help the supply and demand, right? He can't help what the pandemic is doing. So that's why the gas prices were so low, because of COVID. Now that they're coming back up, it doesn't mean that they're necessarily super high, especially according historically, right? I mean, they might be up in your area a little bit, but it's nothing crazy. Sure, it's crazy considering what it was a year ago, but you gotta think, that's when COVID, all the stay home, simple supply and demand, right? And in my area, if anything, gas prices from a couple years ago are still a little bit lower. I know in some places like California, it's a little bit different, but generally, the gas prices are not rising as fast as you might think they are. I mean, they're rising fast, but historically, it's nothing too out of the ordinary. So the election in November has played a bit of a role here, and this is where I am not really an expert. I mean, I'm not an expert in anything, but I'm just saying I'm not a political professional. But the markets clearly see the Biden and Harris administration as one that will work to inhibit the production of US oil, which will also have an effect on the tightening of the global market. And the traders have responded by increasing the prices of crude oil. And then here is another factor that just a lot of people simply didn't know. Fortunately for drivers, every single summer, gas prices go up, no matter what the circumstances are. It's usually starting around Memorial Day. And there are lots of reasons behind this, and some are fairly logical. Of course, more people traveling, road trips, family vacations, so have you. But in the spring months, energy companies conduct maintenance on their refineries, shutting them down and limiting capacity until May. Because of these disruptions, oil supplies can become stretched. In addition, natural disasters like hurricanes can increase prices by disturbing transport routes and so forth. But gasoline sold in the summer is actually different than the gasoline sold in winter. Not only that, it's more expensive. So, of course, with supply and demand, more people traveling and going about and doing extra things, price goes up. Shutting down the refineries for maintenance means it's not producing as much into the global market. And, of course, switching out the gas, which is more expensive in the summer. So twice every year in the United States, the fuel supply changes. It's known as the seasonal gasoline transition. So this alone, this change, is the biggest reason for increased prices in the summer. So depending on the time of year, gas stations will switch between summertime fuel and wintertime fuel. And of course, wintertime is cheaper and there's less people traveling and taking trips and, kind of going down to the creek and going to amusement parks and whatever. So with all of those things combined, it is not only, in my opinion, the Biden-Harris administration's fault for the increase in gas prices. As you can see, the early summer and spring maintenance, shutting that down. The change in fuel, increasing it. Of course, the obvious supply and demand with the loosening of COVID restrictions. And, they are dabbling a little bit with other things that I am not super aware of. But all I know is that the factors that I've mentioned today are very simple reasons why the gas prices have gone up from a year ago during COVID when Trump was still in office and everybody thought he was the reasons that gas prices were low dollars, right? Even in my area, gas prices were 99 cents for about 3 days, or 99 cents a gallon, which is insane. So to sum it up, we've seen a bunch of factors that drove up the gas prices since last November. Some of them being political, but most of them just being basic, gasoline economics, things that happen every single year. So long story short, there's really nothing super surprising about these gas prices, and it's nothing that we probably won't see for years to come in the future. I just see a lot of political blame from those hillbilly boomers, spreading those Facebook pictures like wildfire. They're just uneducated, so I'm hoping a video like this will reach someone like them and say, hey, it's not all political. That's just one of the reasons why politics is not my thing, right? It's so divisive. But when it comes to stuff like this, it's just simple economics. And people, this isn't really, it's not complicated, but it's not necessarily common knowledge. So you can't really blame them for it, but at the same time, maybe send them my link their way. We'll get them a little bit educated on, how the kind of crude oil and gasoline industries work and historical charts and, all the proof on why nothing that's happening is too crazy and or the Biden or Harris administration's fault. Anyway, if you got any value out of today's video, hit that like and subscribe button. I greatly appreciate it. And if you have any further information to add on to today's video, because I know there is plenty of the Biden-Harris administration side of things out there, so let me know down in the comments below. So if you're watching this video, you've got kind of my side with the crude oil and gasoline kind of industry and economics behind that, and then you can scroll through the comments and I'm going to pin the one that just seems to make the most sense to me, and I've done research and I've confirmed that this is accurate information. So make sure you check out the comments below and see what people have to say about the other side of things. Anyway, thank you guys for watching, thanks for hanging out, and I will see you in the next video.
He got his 9, I've got my 9.
Boss Squad out.